welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about these two people that we talked about surprisingly a lot during 2020, and it is the Dolan twins. Now, from my understanding, these two men are seemingly unproblematic and never get involved in drama. Like, this was my notion of them, and seemingly like a lot of what you were thinking as well. I don't know, I'm not gonna speak for you, bestie, but just judging by my comment section, a lot of people were like, why are they always in drama? Like, these are the people that we thought were unproblematic. And so in 2020, they got themselves involved in so much drama, and in my opinion, it all seemed so inauthentic, and their content seemed inauthentic, and it was basically drama to hype up their videos, but their videos never really slapped. For example, they basically, in the height of the dramageddon that was happening, you know, with James Charles and Taddy, they basically made a dramatic ass trailer basically alluding to coming forward with a very emotional secret that they haven't said before. Now, there were already speculations that were happening with whether anything happened between Grayson Dolan and James Charles just through Jeffree Star causing shit. So people immediately thought that, you know, they were making this trailer alluding to one of them speaking up against James Charles, because keep in mind the timeline, this was in peak dramageddon that was happening in summer. And you know what? The boys were feeding into it, whether you want to say it or not. Even their fans were agreeing with it. They were basically making this dramatic-ass trailer, hyping up a series that they had coming, which people thought was coming forward against something that was, you know, a quite serious thing against James Charles, maybe. But it was about Ethan's acne story. Now, again, you know, coming forward with something like that is very brave, and that's something that is very, you know, a deep struggle for a lot of people. However, they made it seem like, because there were already people assuming they were going to speak about James Charles and they didn't deny anything, people very much so thought they were going to speak up about it, and they didn't once deny it, and they loved it because it was getting more promo for their series. And it even went as far as their fans were like, there's no way this is about Ethan's acne story, like, y'all are reaching now. And then the documentary was about his acne story, and people were like, the fans were like, and so that was a big thing that happened. And also, over this summer, they used the Sister Squad in the title of their video, which they didn't talk about it in their video, but they alluded to talking about it to get views. How they did it was they basically said, addressing things that y'all always wanted to hear, and Sister Squad was in the title. And basically, when they bring up Sister Squad in the video, they say, oh, we're not going to talk about it because we wouldn't talk about it. Again, just using it. So their content seemed very not authentic at all. But you know what? People have their own preferences, and you can enjoy it if you want. But people were starting to pick up on it, and they were starting to lose a lot of fans, and their fans were starting to be like, this doesn't seem like something you're enjoying doing. The Dolan twins have now officially quit YouTube, which is very interesting. And so basically, to get it out of the way, first of all, they have a YouTube channel with 10 million subscribers on it. They have officially left that channel, and I'm going to get into the reasons in a second. It's actually really interesting. And they're not only doing content on their podcast channel, which their podcast channel only has 100,000 subscribers, and that's no shade, because this channel has 100,000 subscribers, but I'm like, it's a bit weird they're moving over to that one, and we're going to get to their reasons now. First of all, I thought we may as well hear what they have to say, then we're going to talk about, it's basically like an hour long, but I'm going to show you two 2-minute clips, and then I'm going to tell you what they said, their reasoning for was it, and kind of what I believe, what the public opinion based on this is. So first of all, this is like the opening clip of the podcast, in which it is called We're Moving On From YouTube. It has 400,000 views as the time of filming this. It is an hour long. And, oh, by the way, the clip about the Sister Squad, this is what it said. Addressing assumptions about us. Dolan twins ended Sister Squad, and they look dramatic in the title, and then whenever, oh, let's talk about Sister Squad. Actually, we're not going to talk about it because they're not here. So that was what we're working with here. Their content over summer very much so relied on drama channels talking about them, and them calling out people, being involved in scandals. So this is the opening of them saying that they are officially leaving YouTube. Then I'm going to show you another clip of why, and then talk about the other reasons. So here we go.
Host Grayson Dolan.
It's actually quite interesting.
Dolan. Maybe we actually shouldn't start it like that.
Okay, maybe not.
Should we redo it?
Yeah.
Or are we in too deep?
Well, I think we're in too deep.
Okay. So,
who else is in your voice box right
that
now?
was your fucking
That was
throat.
your voice box.
That was your throat. Okay, whatever.
Did anyone hear that little leprechaun in someone's voice? Like, whose throat was that?
It was yours. You just...
Okay, I'm trying so hard, but they're so boring to watch. That's just my opinion. You know what? You can enjoy them. For me, they're just like, they like almost trigger me because I know that these would be two people that would bully me in school. You know what I mean? Like, okay, anyway, let's go on. Sorry.
The gutter.
I'm sure they're lovely.
Gullet, so probably you. This is not clickbait. If you clicked on this video to hear us announce that we have moved on from YouTube, then there it is.
This is us saying that we're moving on from YouTube.
Before we get into this conversation with you guys, because it's going to be a pretty lengthy one, I want to first say...
I'm going to be giving you the condensed.
We are not moving on from YouTube because we have a lack of appreciation for you guys.
Okay.
The support over the past 6 and some of you 7 years.
They've been on for a long time. Long platform.
Oh, God, I can't even explain the level of appreciation that I have.
Okay.
Really. The fact that you even just watch the videos. And most of you did way more than that. You know, supporting us on our other social platforms, commenting, liking the videos, interacting with it.
And also just being there for us and just letting us know that you are there for us. It's
Let's watch this video on a quicker speed. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
You guys come to the rescue and let us know that we aren't. So that's a really key factor in, you know, how we got to where we are today. Is you guys just letting us know that we're not alone. Something else I want to say is that I'm so appreciative of the community that we were able to be involved in on our YouTube channel with such
nice,
uplifting, positive, and intelligent human beings like yourselves.
Giving acknowledgement.
Really,
nice.
I have so much gratitude. But I don't know. This is life, and I think all good things do come to an end at one point or another, and this is that point.
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider it an end. I'm just saying, the reason why I want to say that is because we're still going to be doing this podcast every single week. This is the platform that we
have some points about this.
And do what we want to do with our lives.
Okay.
And I just feel free here. So that is why we're going to continue to do this every single week.
Important point incoming from me. Maybe a little bit of a rant.
Us creating, you know what I mean? Like, I guess the YouTube channel was our top level production of everything that we create. You know, to me, I enjoyed creating for YouTube more than I do for Instagram, Twitter, anything else. And I always saw it as like what I put most of my effort into. And there just came a time where, you know, now is the time that we want to move on to bigger and better things that are going to be more of a challenge for us. I guess I wanted to talk to the people that may find themselves in a situation similar to us right now, where they're at a point in their lives where they've done something, they've learned it, and they know it so well, but they just feel that and they know in their heart of hearts that it's time to move on. Mm-hmm. And so, because this has been the biggest struggle of my entire life.
Okay, so that was the first clip that I'm going to show you, right? Now I have some things to say, then we're going to move on to them explaining the reasons why. Now, they kind of touched upon there that, you know, they've been on YouTube for, you know, a long time and now's the time to move on. It's definitely interesting, and it kind of poses the question that, like, whenever you're in a job, you are doing a repetitive thing, but, you know, that is your job. And it's kind of like, they're so lucky that, you know, they have the money now. Their job on YouTube made them all this money that, you know, they can leave, they can do other things. Like, they're incredibly lucky. They're like the 1% in terms of jobs who can, you know, do that. They're incredibly lucky for that. The conversation around, you know, they're tired of doing their job, mental health is very important. However, being a YouTuber and deciding that, you know, you don't want to do videos anymore because, you know, you couldn't be bothered making videos, or you don't want to, I'm not saying they're saying that, but I'm just saying you couldn't be bothered, you don't want to, you're uninspired, you can't. It's like posing the question of YouTube and like a regular job, if you will. You know, you go into a regular job and you don't necessarily, you know, most people don't necessarily enjoy their jobs. They're going in every single day, they're doing the same thing. And that can be compared to doing YouTube. And, you know, they're so lucky that they can, you know, be like, okay, we don't want to do necessarily what we've been doing, you know, for the past 6 years in our job. We've made our money. And so I'm happy for them and congratulations for moving on in that retrospect. But it is just like, you know, not everyone can do that. Now, the next clip I'm going to show you is a bit more like why they left. And then I'm going to talk more. It's just, there's a lot to unpack here, but here we go.
Drowsy,
okay.
And it feels like pulling teeth. And you start to feel like you're not alive anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was like for me for a little bit. Until we just came clean and got real with ourselves.
Okay.
But it's weird. I've been reading comments and people are kind of like, they were on to it before we even made this announcement.
And that's the thing. Like, with YouTube, it was our main goal to, like, spread positivity. Mm-hmm. I think that's the main goal. And
so he kind of goes on, right, to talk about positivity, and that's not him anymore. And I think I'm glad he acknowledged that, because recently the Dolan twins have not necessarily been spreading positivity on this platform, to put it quite lightly.
I think that's the main goal of my life. And so YouTube was a huge...
But I'm here for the open conversation.
That's why it was my main goal there as well.
And the raw conversation.
But, I mean, a lot of people were recognizing that I wasn't the same positive light that I was in the videos previously, you know, in the past, because my heart wasn't in it anymore. And how am I supposed to spread positivity if I'm not even like feeling positive myself? I was down in the dumps, for a really long time, and
getting like,
I think it was because life just felt stagnant. 7 whole years of doing the exact same thing, and there was a point, there was a stretch of
you know what, I'm so here for the open conversation about mental health, and I'm so, you know, sorry that they were struggling in that. I just keep going back to the conversation where they're like, you know, for so many years we were doing the same thing day in, day out. That's a job. You know, that's what a job is. You know, if you're going to a job where you're working in retail, you're doing the same thing. Working in McDonald's, doing the same thing. If you're an accountant, doing the same thing. If you're a banker, doing the same thing. An artist, you're doing the same thing. Self-employed, doing the same thing. So I completely understand where they're coming from. You know, they don't want to do it anymore. However, they're so lucky, you know, that they've made their money. They're probably millionaires, and, you know, they can be like, you know what? We're tired of doing the same thing. It again poses the question that I've seen a lot of fans disappointed that they were like, oh, we didn't know you were feeling like this, like we feel lied to. Okay, I'm so here for the open conversation about how they're feeling and being raw and authentic, and that's why, you know, their fans love their podcast. I'm just also seeing the other side of what, you know, they're saying, and that being a YouTuber, you're extremely lucky, and, you know, they were posting 1 video a week. Yeah, I can 100% see where they're coming from. I'm just again giving multiple different perspectives, and this is coming from a YouTuber as well. So I definitely, I'm glad they're having this conversation instead of just, you know, dropping their fans like that. So we'll see.
We just didn't even miss a Tuesday. And if we did, it was by 1 day, and it was because
and the most stressful day of
a file failed at 5 in the morning, and I was crying my eyes out. So I think the best way to make a positive change is to authentically feel positive yourself.
Okay.
You know, so you can...
That's where you have to start.
To truly feel positive yourself, so you can authentically spread that with others.
That's definitely where you have to start.
Yeah.
To being positive yourself. And with the things that we're working on now, these projects that are going to be bigger than anything that we've done, that are already in motion, specifically referring to one project, we're not going to talk about anything until it's like set in stone. And
I hate when YouTubers do
because
that.
life just felt...
Okay, so now keep in mind them saying about their content feeling not authentic. In summer they were using drama so much, so maybe that's their way of, you know, acknowledging that. However, I'm just seeing the other sides of this argument. I'm so, you know, I'm happy for them being able to move on and do the best for their mental health. Like, congrats both of you, and I'm happy for you. I do just want to read out some of the comments under the YouTube video on this, because people have some opinions on this, like always, and this is what they've said. So, someone said, honestly, not surprised. I saw it coming, but I feel bad for the Dolan twin fans that have been really supportive of them, and they'll be devastated by this happening. But for the twins, I get it. There always comes a time to move on and try other things. And again, that's another aspect with this. Someone said once they started those boring girlfriend content, Hype House LA vlog kids style videos, it was the beginning of the end. Not surprised. Smart move. Someone said they started their channel when they were 14. They are not 21. You honestly cannot expect them to do YouTube forever. I'm super happy and proud of the people they've become. Someone said, I've been around for 5 years. I have merch and the signed poster. I'm going to miss them so much. Someone said, I saw it coming, their heads are getting too big, they are losing fans so fast. Someone said, finally, their content is horrible, used to be fun, and then just got a bit sad. I'm glad they're moving on. There's a lot of people split on this. I'm so happy they're doing what's, you know, right for them, and glad that they're not pushing themselves, even just on a mental health level, or faking it, you know, anymore. They said they were faking it, but just anymore. And, you know, just being authentic to the fans and having this conversation. They're still going to be on the podcast, and that's great. You know, the fans that want to see them there and other projects. It's just interesting. A lot of YouTubers are leaving the platform for, you know, this reason, where they just don't enjoy making videos anymore. And again, it is a job, and a lot of people don't look at it like, you know, well, you're a YouTuber, but there is a lot involved in being a YouTuber that is stressful, and then whenever you're going through that, and then you have to go on camera, I get it. I'm just also aware, you know, how privileged you are as a YouTuber, and they go on in this video as well to say that, you know, they started buying things just to flex them in videos, or like wear, you know, this clothes to like flex it in videos and stuff, and it's like, that's a really sad life. You know what I mean? They're young, they're 21, but like still, and I get it, they've got all this money, but it seemed like a sad life they were living. So I'm glad they're moving on. It's just, a lot of people are split on this, and I get it. Brittany, what do you think? Paris, Lindsay, what are we feeling, girls? Again, I'm just happy for them if this is the right decision for them, and their fans will be upset, but you know what? If they want what's best for, you know, their favorite people, then they'll deal with it. And again, we'll be looking at the projects they'll be making. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of them, so I'm not gonna be, if it pops up, you know, I'll see it. But I want to know what your opinion is on this, and you know, how they're addressing this and the open conversation, but also saying that, you know, just describing that, you know, having to do the same thing every day is a lot, and you know, again, the conversation of that's a job, and some people aren't privileged enough to get to be like, oh, you know, I've done this and now I'm done, you know what I mean? So again, I'm seeing multiple different, just because I see it from a point of view as well of like people busting their ass to get less than half, not even less than half, like a small percentage of the money, you know, the Dolan twins would get, and they can't decide, you know. But again, I'm so happy for them that they're, you know, able to like look out for their mental health. There's just so many, like, you know what I mean? I'm like going back and forth. So I want to know what your opinion is. Congratulations to them. I'm happy for them. Again, their content was getting very tired and drama filled, and they said that's never what they wanted, and it was kind of hypocritical. So you know what? They're acknowledging that. And I mean, yeah, like, I'm happy for them, I guess. I want to know what your opinion is. I just think whenever they're, you know, saying about how they've been faking it for months and for years, and, you know, it wasn't enjoyable, it's like, you know, how does that make the fans feel? But then I don't want a guilt trip, and I don't know, there's many different, like, aspects I'm being very careful about here, but I want to know what your opinion is. I love you. I will see you in my next video. Let's talk about it below. Bye, bestie.